Hi guys, in this video I'm going to discuss about binding navigator and binding source control in C#.NET Windows Form. So let's go to Toolbox and here you can find binding navigator. So about the binding navigator provides a user interface for navigator and manipulate data bound to the control of a form. And hereafter binding source, so it encapsulates data source for a form and provides navigation, filtering, sorting and updating capabilities. So and here I'm going to show you one example. There I'm using a binding navigator and binding source. So let's drag this one into the form. So this is the binding navigator here. So a starting index that start from 0 and whatever the columns inside record is there. So that to suppose if at here total numbers of rows are 5. So that here that must be display 5. And here this is for starting, that's for ending. Here you can add, here you can cancel, and here you can add any controls. So hereafter let's drag binding source control. So this is the name of binding navigator and this is the name of binding source. And hereafter let's double click on the form. So the form load event open. Here I need SQL data adapter SQL. So when I'm going to write SQL data adapter, so it's not visible. So for this we need to add one new form. So write add here using system dot data dot. So here I'm using Microsoft SQL servers. So add here we need to write, we need to take add here SQL client. Now hereafter if you write SQL data adapter, SQL data adapter. So here SQL adapter is a class and here it represents set of data commands. So it's a represent or data commands and data connection. So first for commands, next for connection that are used to fill the data set. So used to fill the data set and update SQL Server database. So these are the things about SQL data adapter and this class cannot be inherited. So let's create one object DA and hereafter let's take data set this time. So represent in memory case. So about data adapter, so it fill used to fill the data set. So that I'm using add here data set. So add here I'm giving object ds for dataset and hereafter let's go to form load event and here I'm going to use d. So d is the object of data SQL data adapter and here equal to new and here SQL or data adapter. So at here I'm using select star from. So the table name. The table name is emp underscore or detail. So this is my table name. So I'm going to show you here. So this is my table name. So it's inside SAM database. So this is the table name and this is the record inside the table. So here select a star from emp. So at here first is for data set and hereafter next for connection. So let's give at here the connection. So for our connection here let's go to the form and hereafter go to the tool and here click on connect, add connection. So at here if you don't know the server name blindly write at here local host and here this is the Windows authentication. If you are going to use username authentication, so give the name and the password and hereafter I'm going to select my database SAM. So here after test the connection, hereafter click on add and here whatever the things, so from here you can copy. So copy that and hereafter OK and here after let's go to the code part and here paste that. So this is the correct connection. Now here after write ds. So ds is the object of our data set. So we need to write at here data set. Now here after use da. So da that used to fill or ds. So this is the definition about SQL data adapter used to fill the data set. So that here I'm using field method. So right here I'm passing ds object. So this ds is the object of data set, and here after let's write binding source or binding or source. So binding source is the name of binding source control. So this is the name of binding source control, and here after let's write binding source. So here binding, so at here sorry at here I need to use at here data source. So data source here, so get and set the data source for the connection, so it's useful. And here let's write ds dot here tables. So get the collection of tables content, the use of table. So get the collection of tables. So right here I'm giving 0 index, and here after let's write binding navigator. Binding navigator, and here place dot, and here after need binding source. So about the binding source, so get and set binding source component for the source data. So it's bind, and here uh, this dot the control name is binding source 1. Binding source 1 we have to pass. Now here after at here we have 5 columns. So that here I'm going to bind at here I'm going to take 5 text box. So at here let's search at here text box. So here search for text box. Now let's copy and paste. So 5 text box. So 5 text box at here first for ID, next for name, age, city and deputy number. So at here I'm going to use label control to make our form meaningful. So let's copy. Now here, so first column is here ID, next name, age. ID, name, age. So ID I'm going to change the text property of level 1. Here it must be display ID, next for name, and here age, and so this is for ID, name, age here. So this is for city, and that's for deputy number. So and here the text property of label control it's changed. So if you want, then here you can change the text property of text box control also. So I'm not going to change. So right here text box 1 is for indicating for ID purpose, and here text box 2 for name purpose. Now hereafter let's go to form, and here let's write or text box 1 dot. So here dot, hereafter let's write data binding. So get the data binding. So it bind the data, and hereafter after binding I'm going to use add method, and hereafter new binding. So add here about the binding. So adds the specified binding correction, and here, so here the text property. So first part of the name text property, hereafter or data or source. So data source, and hereafter data member. So first part has been over. Hereafter data source. So data source is the binding data source, binding source, and hereafter here ID. So by default it's false. So we need to pass at here true. And so here this is for text box 1. Now let's copy and paste to save the times here. So this is our total text box 5. So right here 5 text box. So let's change the name of text box. So next put text box 2, here 3, here 4, here 5. So here after text, no, I need to change here uh, ID name age. So right here ID next for or name, and here after age, and here after ID name is city and deputy number, or city, and next is deputy number. So this is the code where I'm using add here data source and binding navigator. So let's execute and check. So see at here, it's so whatever the records. So let's compare the records at here. So this is the SQL server, and here this is the records here. So ID here 10, name is Billy, here age 32, and city Miami, debit number sales. And if you now click on, so total numbers of column or rows are 5, so that here it's displaying 5, and this is for next. So next rows 20, so 20 here name is Ward, here age 67, Sydney here debit number 9. So here, so you can use, so next row, so this option. If you wanna see first, so here, if you wanna see last, so click there. If you wanna previous, so here you can check. So this for add and this for cancel. So this is the one example where I'm using binding navigator and or binding source. So at here this is all for binding navigator, and here binding source. So it binds the source and do updation and manipulation on the data. So I hope guys you understand the uses of this two control. And your binding source, here you can, if you want, then change the or change the name. So yeah, it's optional. Here you can sort the records. Here you can directly or pass you can add the records by clicking this option add project. Hereafter you have to click next. So this time I explained about binding navigator and binding source by code. And next way you can directly use, or here you can give the connection, and you can also use the text box one, and here you can use or data binding here text, and hereafter you can add the project. Here you can give the link. So ID for ID. So let's click next. and here you can select the tables and click on finish. And hereafter let's go again, and hereafter you can directly use the table, and hereafter you can pass the id for id. So this is a direct method, and next way it's a coding method. So coding method I used binding source and binding navigator. So I hope guys this video is helpful for you. So if you have any doubt related to this video, leave a comment. Definitely I will reply. So thanks for watching. See you next video. Thank you.